Hi, I'm Mark, and this is my journey through tarot. Let's go. So today is going to be Caitlyn Marie Jenner. Caitlyn Jenner. Let's see what's going on for that individual. So, Caitlyn Marie Jenner was born William Bruce Jenner on October 28, 1949, and is an Olympic gold medal winning decathlete. What is a decathlete? Well, decathlon events are on the first day, a 100-meter dash, running long broad jump, shot put, high jump, and 400-meter run. Then the second day is 110-meter hurdles, discus throw, pole vault, javelin throw, and then a 1,500-meter run. That's what a decathlon is. As Bruce Jenner played college football, but then had a 6-year decathlon career and won the men's Olympic event of 1976. He was considered an All-American hero and a playgirl, not a playboy, a playgirl cover model. Jenner has 6 kids with 3 wives, 2 kids each, and is a Republican running for governor of California in the 2021 election, recall election. So there you go. His parents were Esther, Ruth, and William Hugh Jenner, who was an arborist. That's a tree surgeon. So let's go on to this next piece here. Bruce became a national hero. That's 1972. Also in 1972, a Soviet won the Olympics, which inspired him to start training that very night by running through the streets of Munich, and then trained 6 to 8 hours a day, 365 days a year through the 1976 Olympics. So suffice to say that the 1972 Olympics were in Germany. Now in 1973, Bruce had earned a football scholarship, and then a knee injury caused a switch to decathlon athlete, and he earned a degree in physical education from his college. In 1973 also, he married a flight attendant and sold insurance at night, earning $9,000 a year. Also in 1973 through 1976, he won 12 of 13 decathlon events, and in 1974 became the American champion in men's decathlon. So in 1976, his younger brother was killed in a car accident after Bruce's success at the Olympic Games, and as a child was diagnosed with dyslexia. Also in 1976, he was the Associated Press's Male Athlete of the Year. Jennifer returned to the decathlon title. Actually, what it says here, because I'm reading this off my computer, Jenner returned the decathlon title to the USA and said, "I happen to be the right guy at the right place at the right time." And the New York Times wrote, "Jenner is twirling the nation like a baton." So Bruce had been considered for the role of Superman, which eventually went to Christopher Reeve, as you may know or can check up on. And he was the cover of Playgirl magazine, not Playboy magazine, Playgirl magazine. And then 1977 was on the Wheaties cereal box. I don't know if they still put athletes on the Wheaties cereal box. I presume they do. Now in 2015, he came out as a trans woman. And General Mills, who owns Wheaties, had said Bruce Jenner has been a respected member of Team Wheaties, and Caitlyn Jenner will continue to be. Jenner cross-dressed for many years with his wives, with the most understanding possibly coming from his last wife, Kim Kardashian Jenner. And he says he's never been sexually attracted to men. He underwent cosmetic surgery and ultimately completed sex reassignment just in 2017. And to go back to 2015, though, had said he understood there's no single correct way to transition. Jenner made a priority of waiting till all of her children were independent first, and then legally changed her name and gender to female eventually. So there we go. Bruce Jenner, very interesting individual, and that's what we'll do the read on today because of this run now for Republican governor of California. Okay, so Caitlyn Marie Jenner is the subject of today's read. So I wouldn't have even thought of doing a read on Caitlyn Jenner, except for that he, or she, I'm sorry, is going to be running for governor of California in the recall election. So interesting. Going to use this new deck I got called the Good Tarot. And it's really a cool deck in that it uses the Rider-Waite system of divination, but it has it with a very, very positive message in all of the cards. It's not a horrifying message or a scary message on any of those cards in the way that this has been interpreted by Colette Baron Reed. So it comes with a typical, little guidebook that is useful. I guess it gives you a spiritual feeling for the cards. So that's good. Really cool box. You feel like it's quality. Again, like if you gave that as a gift or if you received it as a gift, you'd feel like, wow, that was really a good quality thing that I've been given there. And then the cards are really amazing, as I always say almost every time. But they're really terrific artistry, nice depictions. There's nice, gentle spirit to these cards. And so, like I always say, I do this so that you can have a chance to look at them. And it also helps me to mix up the cards without shuffling. So there you go. So you can see they're nice, beautiful cards, plain, easy to read what they're intended to be. The backs of them are also very nice and useful. And we'll see how they play out. They've got a good weight to them. You know what I mean? They're not like really flimsy, although they're a little flimsy, but they're not really flimsy. And these are probably like $25 or something like that. So I really was so excited when these came in the mail, and because you don't know until you really get them and hold them and see them in person, as it were, if they're what you saw online. So really, I wasn't sure, but we'll shuffle these up a little bit. No matter how much I practice, I just can't get this shuffle down perfect. There's some folks who shuffle beautifully every single time, and that's just not me. But anyway, we'll get these mixed up for Caitlyn Jenner, and I don't think we have to worry about being specific about gender here. I mean, Spirit knows that we're all just beings, We happen to come out however we happen to come out, and if you don't feel that's right for you, or if someone feels that it hasn't worked out for them, my goodness, this woman waited her entire life. I mean, she was in her 60s when she finally decided, well, my kids have got their careers going, all 6 of them by 3 different wives. And here I am in a privileged position, and it's finally time for me. And the funny thing was to have, all of his wives to some extent, lesser with the first wife, and then more and more until there's just final, complete acknowledgement by the third wife that he was at a minimum cross-dressing. So very, very interesting, and man, what a complicated way to live your life. So we'll let you get a look at them as I shuffle them up like this. And running for governor of California, Caitlyn Jenner, governor of California. How is that going to go? Is it only the fame now that gets people elected to office? Is it only the notoriety that so many people care about? There's obviously folks who do look at the candidates' qualifications for office. And does Caitlyn Jenner have the qualifications to run that huge economy of California? It seems like, I don't know. I just don't know. So we'll break this up into 2 stacks, since Jenner has been 2 personas, kind of. And then we'll do a spread and see what we get for Caitlyn Jenner right now. We have full Celtic cross. 6 cards to begin with. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. I got to tell you, these cards feel really nice to work with. The only thing is because they're so new, they kind of stick to each other, and that's not a good feeling. It's not a bad feeling either, really. So, Caitlyn Jenner, running for governor of California. Specifically, that's how I want this read to focus. So let's see if it turns out that way. The signifier card for Caitlyn Jenner regarding running for the governor of California. Oh, the Hanged Man. Man, talk about an appropriate card. The Hanged Man speaks to looking at things from a different perspective. And if you were born male and finally transitioned completely to a female, I would say that you certainly have a good eye for a different perspective. Wow, that's pretty amazing. Let's see, so the Hangman, that's very good. Now let's see, what's the challenge to the Hangman in this respect? The Star. Of course it's a challenge, because Bruce Jenner, since what was it, 1974 at least, maybe 75, has been a national hero, in the spotlight, star, and then later with this whole Kardashian situation, just right up front, in front of the American public. Amazing. So the challenge to seeing things from this different position, which I would say he's turned his life flip-flop over. And if you even look at this card, this is a man, obviously, but really in a beautiful, attire, and with wings, almost fairy-like, almost female-like. And so there it is, the hanged man, looking at things from a different perspective and being the star. And look at this. This star is a beautiful woman that if you squinted your eyes a little bit, you could say, yeah, that could be Caitlyn Jenner in that picture right there. Amazing. Okay, so the base of the reading then is going to be the Eight of Air. And now these cards, like this is swords, air is swords. So these cards, using a gentler theme to make the point, would rather call this energy air, which is perfectly legitimate. And so the eight of air, or the Eight of Swords, is kind of feeling like everything's kind of got you in a position that you feel like you can't get out of. And this depiction sort of has this angel up on a cloud, looking a little hesitant about going over the edge, and all these feathers dropping to the ground. So the Eight of Air, or the Eight of Swords, is the base of the reading, kind of feeling restricted. Yeah, that fits. I can see that. Now, in the past of this reading, then, is the Two of Earth. And remember, this is the Two of Pentacles. And you can see this woman is balancing those two pentacles up in the air, trying to keep things going. Pentacles, Earth is pentacles and value, and pentacles are value and solid, and could even be money. But as the past, this shows that this person has been balancing their value in the past, and that's certainly what he's been doing. So in the sky for this reading then is a Page of Earth. And so that's the Page of Pentacles. And the Page is the lesser of the court cards, and is always, as Earth is bringing something of value to be considered by the court. The court could be the court of human judgment, of us deciding whether he can be governor of California, couldn't it? So the Page of Earth, messenger, bringing something to the table for consideration by everyone else. So that's where we are with that. I hope all this is staying in the picture, because these are great looking cards. And okay, so there we go. Now the likely outcome for the first part of this Celtic cross then is another page, a Page of Water. And water is cups. Cups are emotion, and this card is just flooded with emotion, with this beautiful, beautiful woman here, really immersed in the emotion, and then drenched by the emotion of the sky. And so the likely outcome is there's going to be a message of emotion, of passion that comes out of this campaign, I guess we could say. But let's get down to the self, the real self of Caitlyn Jenner. And I mean, this seems to be pretty specific, but let's go a little bit further. And I think we'll take these just out of here, just like this, and we'll say, what is the self of Caitlyn Jenner? Self is, wow, the magician. So the magician, look at this. This magician is a guy, and we know that he becomes a woman. What more of a magician do you want? The magician has all the elements of the tarot available to them. The pentacles, the coins, the wands, and you name it. So the magician is who Jenner considers herself. Now the challenge, the environment that magician is in then is going to be the Three of Fire. The Three of Fire. Now fire are wands, and wands are motion, movement, planning, long-term planning, in particular the Three of Wands. So the Three of Fire is in the environment of long-term planning, and that seems to fit pretty well with considering being the governor of California. I mean, you've got to plan the campaign, you've got to think about how your governorship is going to be, to explain it to the people, to win their vote. So that seems appropriate. Now let's go on and see what is the next card, the hopes and the fears for Caitlyn Jenner. King of Water. Water again is cups. Cups are emotion, and the hopes are to win this. I guess I don't know how this person thinks. So it seems to me, my logical brain wants to say that Jenner considers things on a not an emotional level, but how do you go from transiting from a man to a woman without lots of emotion being involved? So the hopes and the fears. King of Water, King of Emotions. I say that would be a hope that he hopes he can pull off. And then the wand thing is really my way today. And then the final outcome of this reading for Caitlyn Jenner is going to be, as I drop cards onto the floor, the Ace of Water. The Ace of Water Ace of Cups is a great big offer, a great big emotional offer, and it seems to me like that might be saying that he could pull this off and be the governor of California. I'm going to stick with that. I tell you, that was an amazing read, and I have to beg forgiveness for switching between he and she at inappropriate times. But I grew up with Bruce Jenner as a hero, and that's the primary memory I have of this person. And it's not to diminish the fact that he has transitioned to Caitlyn Jenner at all. Just my baby boomer brain, it doesn't easily go there. But anyway, the way this started out was great. So it was the Hanged Man, which looks like somebody who's transitioned into a woman, looking at things from a different perspective, and then challenged by being a star, and a beautiful star at that. So there we go. And then the final outcome of this thing, where he's identified as the magician in the environment of long-term planning, and comes up with the Ace of Emotions for a big finish. I mean, it looks to me like it's very possible this could happen. So Bruce Jenner could be Governor Jenner. Well, I'm Mark. This is my journey through tarot. Thank you very much for coming along with me. And if you're not doing anything tomorrow, come on by. I'm be going somewhere, and you can come too. So, ciao for now.